Alright, hey guys, and welcome back to today's video. So today we're going to be going to Petco, and I'm going to be showing you every single aquarium that my Petco has. I'm going to be showing you all the fish, freshwater, saltwater, goldfish, tropical fish.
That's a lot of fish.
All that stuff. I'm going to show you all those tanks in today's video. Show you how the fish are doing, how healthy they are, and the types of fish they're selling. Now the reason we're doing this for this week's video is because, first of all, I personally like to see what kind of other fish stores carry. So I thought the fish tour of my Petco would be interesting to watch, and also the videos that I have done recently with Petco in them, or where I got fish from Petco or took you guys to Petco, stuff like that. Those videos have done pretty well. So I'm going to go ahead and go over to Petco, and we're going to go ahead and check out exactly what fish they currently have in stock. Okay, so I just got to Petco, as you can see. Now I'm going to go ahead and run in there, but I'm going to go ahead and take the mic off of my camera so I don't have to talk in there, and also because the audio in there, even if I did talk, is actually trash, because there's so many aquarium pumps going on in such a small area, the audio is terrible. So I'm just going to do a voiceover for these clips, but I'll see you in Petco. First things first, we got saltwater. So we have some damsels, snails, there's a coral beauty angel, there's some cleaner shrimp, this basic saltwater stuff, more damsels, tons of turbo snails, tons of little margarita snails. There's some other clownfish, maroon clowns I believe, with some coral banded shrimp and more damsels. And these also like naked clownfish. There's also this yellow tang right here. Now my Petco, believe it or not, actually nursed this yellow tang back to health. When this tang arrived at the store, it was extremely skinny, looked like it hadn't eaten in months, right? But my Petco somehow pulled it off. They fed it a ton of seaweed, I'm assuming, and just a whole bunch of food in general, and he seemed to fatten up and is now a lively little tang. I wish I had a tank big enough to where I could pick one of these up, but my saltwater tank is already pretty stocked, so I can't really afford to have anything else in it. But there's also some starfish in this aquarium.
Today's the day! The sun is shining, the tank is clean!
Some sand sifter stars like the one I already have. Down here, the light seems to be burnt out, but there's some dotty backs in here, some cinnamon clowns. Same thing with this, we have some cinnamon clowns, some damsels, and then on the end we just have normal clownfish. Then we have the plant and shrimp rack. So in here there's some ghost shrimp, and I believe another kind of shrimp. Right here we have some cherry shrimp, pretty basic stuff. And then over here we have some white cloud, or I believe these are the gold minnows. Then down here is all plants, so these are basically just loose assorted plants, some cholo wood down on the end. But then down at the bottom, these are all potted plants. Tons of different potted plants, all different assortments, a lot of variety here. And then of course we have the wall of glowfish. Now these are all glowfish. Right here we have mainly the Glofish Tetras on the top. There's also some white skirt tetras kind of mixed in there. Still tetras down in the middle. I didn't really see any glowfish danios, which was kind of weird. There was some down at the bottom, but not that much. There's some tiger barbs right here, which are pretty basic. And then down on the right, we have the glowfish sharks. All the different colors, they're looking pretty good, doing pretty good as well. Then we go on to some more basic stuff like the live bears, gouramis. Here we have some mollies, some rainbow fish, some gouramis. Then there's some swordtails over here, a few platies as well. Then down here, it looks like we have some danios, as well as a few more platies kind of sprinkled in there. Got some gouramis, some plecos, a few more minnows down on the end. Those look like maybe barbs, I don't know, I'm not quite sure. Then there's some mollies down here, tons of mollies actually. And then there's also a few bala sharks and platies. Over here we have some scissortail rasboras, as well as some loaches it looks like. Then we have more tetras and some platies, kind of a little mixed tank right there. Then there's some more platies and some rainbow fish and cherry barbs. Then there's some small silver dollars and golden barbs. A couple gouramis, different types of gouramis, and more simple rainbow fish. Same thing on this end, it looks like we have both Monty rainbow fish and cherry barbs. Up here there's tiger barbs and some Chinese algae eaters. Rosy barbs and honey gouramis are in this tank. Over here we have, I believe those are denison barbs, and then some little tetra. Now this is the live bear section. We have some platies, and it looks like a few dwarf rainbow fish at the top. Over here we have some more platies and a few Buenos Aires tetras sprinkled throughout, kind of more danios sprinkled throughout as well. Now here's where we get into the live bears. There's mollies, there's platies, here's a whole bunch more mollies down here. And then there's not very much in this tank except for, I believe, a rainbow shark down there in that cave. And we have some swordtails and some zebra danios, assorted platies, Mickey Mouse platies, stuff like that in this tank. Tons of mollies. They have a lot of mollies, balloon mollies and normal mollies down here. And then we have swordtails and plecos in this aquarium. Then we got some gouramis, some more mollies it looks like, and a few smaller bala sharks. And then last but not least, we have some Chinese algae eaters. Now for the next section, there's tons of tetras here. There's skirt tetras, lamp-eye tetras, and then we have guppies right below them. There's also some driftwood and some moss in these aquariums. There's dwarf gouramis right there as well. And then down here, we just have some neon tetras, skirt tetras, and some snails. In these tanks, we kind of have the same thing going on with the Buenos Aires tetras and some plants. More guppies up here, and then white skirt tetras with some moss. Same thing in this tank, except there's a few different types of tetras in there as well. There's also a few angelfish in that tank right above. Then we have just guppies, and last but not least, tetras on the bottom. Then for the last aquarium rack, this is the Cichlid Rack. We have Oscars, parrot cichlids, Malawi cichlids right here, kind of mixed assorted ones. And then down on the bottom, we have koi loaches and fancy goldfish. Then the real last aquarium is the feeder tank. They also had your basic stuff. There were some guinea pigs. They were looking pretty cute. Then they also had some weird naked guinea pigs. And last but not least, we have some birds. Looks like some parakeets. I don't know a lot about birds because I'm not really into them, but to say the least, they were still doing pretty good and looked cool. Okay, so I'm out of Petco. I did go ahead and get something, and that something is that tadpole you guys saw in the feeder tanks. So I asked them about it, and they said I could have it for free. And then when I went up to pay for the other stuff I was getting, they were like, never mind, we're gonna charge you 39 cents for it or whatever, the price of like a feeder goldfish, because that's the tank it was in. But it's just a small little tadpole. Don't know what kind of tadpole it is, but this video just turned into getting a new pet video. So I'm gonna head home and we'll get this guy set up in a little tank. Okay, so I'm back with our tadpole. I'm gonna go ahead and start acclimating him into this aquarium because it's in our kitchen, so I'll get a lot of time viewing him and watching his progress as he grows into a frog. So I'm gonna go ahead and start acclimating him. Just like that. Now tadpoles eat a whole bunch of stuff. They'll eat fish food, they'll eat algae wafers, they'll eat algae around the aquarium. They're kind of omnivores, so feeding should be no problem with this guy. But once he starts to eat his legs and starts turning into a frog, I'm going to put him in the koi pond outside so he can turn into a frog and just dip to wherever he wants. But for now he's gonna go in this aquarium. So I'm gonna go ahead and give him some time to acclimate and we'll let him go. Acclimation. Acclimation. Alright, so this guy's been acclimating for quite a bit and he's ready to go in. I'm just gonna rip open the bag and dump some of the water out. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and grab him real quick. Now I believe this is a green frog tadpole from the research I've done. Anyway, I'm just gonna go ahead and drop him right into the aquarium. And there he goes. He'll go ahead and go down to the bottom and make himself right at home. So our sprinklers broke and flooded like half our backyard, but the ducks, they're thriving. They don't care. They're having a great time in their little mini pond. So if you remember a few videos or maybe a video ago, I don't know at this point, but I went to PetSmart and a lot of their fish were sick and covered in ick. So I went back there today and it was the same thing, so I went and I talked to them. Here, by the way, is a video of what it looked like last time I was there. Anyway, it looked the exact same this time. So I talked to the PetSmart employee, and they explained that their fish systems are all on the same filtration system. So all the tanks run into the same filter, so it's kind of all shared water. So what they said was that they just got the fish in Friday, and I was going there on a Saturday. So basically the day after they got a whole bunch of fish in. And they said what they do is that they treat for ick and all parasites and stuff like that with 3 different treatments for 3 days. So Friday through Monday is basically the fish all being treated. And then they said Monday is the best day to come back and buy fish because all the fish that still remain sick or still had ick get pulled off the floor and go into a quarantine tank in the back. Now it's time to expose PetSmart. It's dark right now because it's like midnight and I'm editing at midnight. Anyway, I went back to PetSmart on Monday. Guess what? The fish still had ick. So I was scammed. So that's just a quick little update on kind of what was going on. I'm assuming it's just stress from shipping, but it's good to know that at least they are treating the system and they are trying to prevent these diseases as much as possible, even with the mass amounts of fish they do get in on the weekly basis. So it's been about 5 days since we got our tadpole, and I thought I would just go ahead and update you on him. He's still doing great. He's swimming around. I'm assuming he's eating fish food because I've been feeding a little bit more just so he has enough to eat. And he's just sitting on the filter being a tadpole, but overall he's doing great. Now last but not least, I have to do some quick maintenance on the planted aquarium. First things first, I need to go ahead and dose the aquarium with fertilizer. I just use Seachem Flourish. It's a pretty basic fertilizer. It's nothing fancy. I would like to use something like Aquarium Co-op's Easy Green, but my water is naturally very high in nitrate. So if I used Easy Green, my nitrates would be off the chart, which is very bad. Anyway, I'm just gonna pour a little bit of this into the cap, dump that into the tank, and then I'm also gonna go ahead and feed the fish. that's pretty much it for my weekly maintenance, honestly. And then I do a water change about every 3 weeks on this aquarium. But the fish are really thriving in here, and the plants are as well. So that is gonna be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Good